With all the great decorative stitches that the Topaz 40 has to offer, you can even start to combine them. We're going to walk through how to put multiple stitches into a memory, and then also how to program with the alphabets, how to save them, how to retrieve them, and how to delete them. All right, so let's just get started. Let's touch the Start menu, and notice right here where it says PROG, or short for Program. When you do that, you're going to notice that your side over here is going to empty. Here's a few stitches. I'm going to just delete those for right now. Then you can go up to the Stitch menu and pick any menu you want to get stitches from. So if I come over here to the C menu and pick stitch number 21, it will put one of those in my sewing area. If I put stitch number 22, now I have this little flower and leaf combination, and when I go ahead and do the green check mark, you'll see that it will start to repeat on the screen. We're ready to sew. What if I want to save that? Right here where the folder is with the arrow pointing into it, we're going to touch it one time, and it brings up where it says U, or menu U, My Stitches. So if I touch number 1, it will save that combination into that kind of first category. So we can put in combinations of decorative stitches. We can put in combinations of letters to spell words, names, dates that you want to keep for use multiple times. And you have positions 1 through 18, so you can actually scroll through. If you were to save multiples, there's more areas to save it. In the My Stitches, we can also save stitches, like if I use a zigzag all the time at a altered setting, I can save the zigzag in there as well. So in our video on just My Stitches, we will do just that. But for right now, we're going to stick to just saving combinations we create in our memory. So let's go ahead, we'll do the green check mark, and when we're ready to, if we're done sewing this out, we can just go back to straight stitch, stitch number 1. Now let's do that again okay, so where did we save that? How do we retrieve something we've saved in My Stitches? Touch the Start menu, and you can go to the Stitch menu, or you could also go ahead here. Notice one of your menus has a picture of a heart, and it says U. When you touch that, that will show you the items you've saved in My Stitches, and then by touching it, that's how you retrieve the combination. Great. How about this? Let's go ahead and do a new one. Let's do some alphabets. We'll open up the program. This will bring up the last thing you had in there. Let's just touch the trash can. If I touch it once, it will delete out one item. But let me show you. I'm going to just kind of add in some random stitches here. I've got multiples in here. If I touch and hold the trash can, remember, because it has that little arrow in the bottom right corner, it asks me if I want to delete all the stitches, and that's a quick way to pretty much select all, delete all, touch and hold the trash can, that brings that up. Otherwise, you're touching the trash can for every item you want to delete. So if we want to do alphabets, we can come right up here. We've got different alphabets. If we touch and hold, we've got block alphabet, a brush line alphabet, and these two other are not American alphabets, so I always make sure I clarify, there's really 2 American alphabets in here. But when we pick them, we have uppercase, and if you touch down here, we have lowercase, and then we have numbers and symbols. Notice in the uppercase and lowercase grouping, there's this little, what I call an upside down staple, that's going to create a space. So if I want to go ahead and do my name in uppercase and lowercase, I'm Sarah, and then if I wanted to do a space, I could continue on and it would space that out. I'm going to just delete that for right now. So if I want to save that, I could go ahead and touch the arrow pointing into the folder for save. It brings up to save a stitch, touch any free position, and if you touch an occupied position, it will overwrite it. So we'll just place it in number 2. So now I can see just a little part of that memory and how it works. So then when I'm ready, I can just go ahead, touch the green check mark, and it's going to stitch. Now notice that it's going to sew, how it's going to sew. The baseline is going to be over here on the left side of my presser foot, because this is exactly how it's going to turn out on your fabric. And I probably don't want my name over and over. So if I touch the stop button on the front of my machine, it will just sew from the beginning to end and stop, which is really the easiest way to do it, probably because you just need it one time. All right, so that is how we add. Let's go ahead and do that again. If we want to add to our letters or do something new, we can come in here. And remember, it has this in here, touch and hold the trash can, delete that out. And if we just want to type in, how about the word flower? Flow. and that would be in capital letters this time. And again, we want to save it. We can save it in the next position. And it will put it right there. Awesome. And then when we're ready to sew, green check mark. So how do we actually go and delete something from My Stitches once we've gone ahead and sewed it? So what you want to do is you want to come back to where we can open up to save something. And right now it just says, well, wait, to save it. I don't want to save it. So start by touching the trash can. Now it changes to, and it has a little picture of a trash can right here in yellow. Delete is activated. Touch any position to clear. So if I want to clear the last thing I put in, if I touch it, it will ask me so I don't accidentally do the wrong one or not know what I'm doing. And then if I wanted to do that again, touch the trash can, touch an item to delete, and touch OK. So that is how easy it is to go in. So if I just touch here, I can go back in. If I go back into Program, I would be able to actually delete out, touch and hold, that will work, and be able to go back in, put my new pattern in, try out different combinations. It's amazing what you can do, and link up different decorative stitches, add them to your alphabets. You know you can combine letters and decorative stitches at the same time. So if I wanted to do this little flower before my name and then a little flower after my name, I could put them all in at the same time and have multiple versions of something very similar. So have some fun, practice programming in some letters or some combinations of stitches to get yourself familiar with the memory and alphabets of this machine.